Kitco News, special coverage of the Deutsche Goldmesse, is brought to you by O3 Mining.
O3 Mining's project is located just north of Canada's largest gold mine, Canadian Malartic. It is ticker OIII on the Venture Exchange, that is OIII, and I'm with Jose Vizquerra. He is CEO. Jose, welcome to Kitco.
Thank you so much for having us.
You have some significant mines that are located close to the Marban project.
We do. We have 12 kilometers from the Marban mine. We have the Canadian Malartic mine, which in fact was the first mine that our group put into production in 2014, the Cisco group. We have other mines around, such as Goldex, Sigma Lamac, and Kina from Westholme, very close to our operations.
Can you talk about the team that you have at O3?
Of course. So I guess the most important thing is that we have the support of the technical team from Cisco, which were the group that actually built the Canadian Malartic mine. Together with us, we have Mirza Bello, which is a professional that has plenty of experience in sustainable development. She has worked for many years in Brazil. Alex Rodriguez used to be part of the Glencore group out of Peru. We have Luis Gariepi, which is our Vice President of Exploration and really our rock star. He has been one of these geologists that has a couple of discoveries in his back, including Cerro Lindo, which is a massive deposit that now Nexa has. And he has been working in the Abitibi for many years. He's a Quebecois. And I think with his help, we will continue to have more discoveries. We recently added into our team Jean-Félix Lapage, who is a very good mining engineer coming from Newmont, from the Eleanor mine, which is the person that is going to help us to move the project from pre-feasibility that will be done next year to the feasibility and hopefully into construction.
Cisco's really been, you mentioned again that you're part of the Cisco group of companies, and Cisco has really been a specialty in Quebec. I just want to talk, for instance, while you mentioned Canadian Malartic, but people have also seen the headlines around Windfall.
Yeah, well, I mean, we feel very comfortable working in Val-d'Or. Val-d'Or is an area where 30 million ounces has already been produced. Very interesting about Val-d'Or is an area where new discoveries keep occurring. Even now, we can say that it is a mature deposit, but there you go. You had Canadian Malartic. Now the open pit will be finalized by 2026, but they already found this Goldie, and that's another 14 million ounces of gold. I mean, when they thought that Goldex was over, Goldex started production. When we thought that Kina was not going to have another prospect, suddenly Westholme found the high grade at depth and now revived. So the history in Val-d'Or is very rich in terms of mineral resources. The quality of professionals is extraordinary. I think manpower is very unique. And something that I value very much is the rule of law. In Quebec, they told you the time is going to be a year to 2 years, and it is a year to 2 years when you want to get permits. And on top of that is the incentive that you get from the government to actually do exploration. We have the opportunity to raise money at higher premiums because it's part of flow-through. And that allows the individuals to get benefits from a tax perspective. So that incentivizes the exploration in Quebec. So we have the support not only of the local support, but also the support from the government, which is extraordinary.
I would assume, being this close to the mines, that the infrastructure must be good around the project.
It's spectacular. I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, infrastructure makes cost goes down dramatically. Not only roads, airports, highways, railroads, but also water and energy. The energy in Quebec is one of the cheapest ones in the world.
And community relations is well supported?
It's very supportive. Well, I guess it's a mining town in a way. People knows exactly how it works. There's new mines being built all the time. And I think that is something very, very positive for us. No?
Can you tell us the highlights out of the preliminary economic assessment they had on Marban?
Yes, so Marban shows us a net present value of $423 million at a 5% discount rate, but this is at $1,450 per ounce. If we take, let's say, $1,750 per ounce, which is below on where we are today we're around $1,800 per ounce, the value goes to a net present value of $700 million with a 2.5 years payback and over 34% interest IRR.
And it's a relatively cheap mine to actually get started. I think it was $256 million.
You are right. The capital expenditure is $256 million, which in comparison to other projects of the quality of Marban, it's probably one of the cheapest. No.
And maybe just talk about some of the other projects that are under the portfolio with O3. I think with the Alpha that you had a option on a potential mill if you decide to advance on that.
So we started with a very big portfolio. We have essentially sold everything that has not been core, and we're focused only in Val-d'Or. In Val-d'Or, we have Marban, as you well said before, and Alpha, which is our other project. In Alpha, we have one particular area that we're putting a lot of effort called Bulldog, where we already have in the order of 300,000 ounces. And the idea is to expand that area as we continue to go. One thing that we recently understand now is that there is a relationship with porphyries. And the importance of that is that now it allows us to understand better the alteration. And what does that mean for our public is essentially that now we understand what are the changes in chemistry. That allows us to know if we're closer or further from the areas of mineralization. And that essentially right now has been a breakthrough for us, because now when we drill, we know exactly where we are. We know if we have to stop or if we have to continue to drill, and that would allow us to show much more significance in terms of resources and the growth of them, and the potential, of course, to show that this is a sizable deposit. No?
Well, let's talk about that. What are going to be potential catalysts over the next 12 months for O3?
Very, very important. The first thing that is going to happen in terms of catalysts is going to be the rediscovery of Camflo. Camflo is a plug that comes from the Canadian Malartic mine into O3's ground, and we will show the results of that early in the year, probably January. By March, and we'll continue to drill that, so that we'll have constant information about Camflo. Then we have the preliminary economic assessment moving to pre-feasibility, which will be ready by probably October of 2022. But the resource for that will be in the first quarter. So Camflo, resource for the pre-feasibility, and then pre-feasibility. And on top of that, we will have the results coming from Bulldog, which will be constant, and hopefully a discovery in an area called Omega. So 2022 is a year for O3 in terms of catalysts and being very systematic in terms of value proposition to the market.
Jose, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been great.
Kitco News, special coverage of the Deutsche Goldmesse is brought to you by O3 Mining.